I would just like to know what is going on, where I stand, what is happening for us, what is taking place, you know, what are we going to do? Are they going to pay us off, or are they going to just kick us out like that, giving us nothing after all those years we work? That is what we want to know, what is going on. Where is our time, all our young days? We come and walk and clean this place to keep the place clean. Where is our time? What are they giving us for it? Nothing. This is why I'm here. That's why I want to know what is going on. You know, we spend all our young days in this hospital working. Do you imagine 17 years, right? Just the time when we had the strength to do the work. Now we haven't got the strength. The strength is fading away, and because we haven't got that energy, that's why I believe they want to get rid of us, because we are getting too sick.
The curtain is falling. No, you're on your own. You won't return again. Forever you must roam.
I'm the one that is standing to see that the members of the staff has been having a job, because the union, they are lacking. And they're trying every possible thing to kick me out, because once they could get me out, they will get all the members of the staff out. So therefore, I am fighting all the way along.
I'm here to support the workers who have been threatened. All of them. Well, the main one I know of is Rita Maxim, but since I came I've heard of others, which I didn't hear of before.
The extra duties is to be doing clean the floor, and which it is a separate duty for domestic to do. They wanted to sack the domestic, so they're compelling us to take the domestic job.
How much?
1.
Sit down. You all right?
Your work schedule's been altered. That means you'll remain on this ward for the next 2 days.
No, sister. I've been on this ward all morning, doing 4 people's work, and no one has come to relieve me. Can you ask at the staff office someone to relieve me?
You do realise that the porters and the domestics are on strike, and some of the nurses have chosen to join them. That means we're short-staffed. The management have also ruled that because of the shortage of staff, the ancillary workers will have to do the cleaning work of the domestics, and that means cleaning these floors.
You cannot do that, sister. It's not in our job description.
There's no need to worry about that. It's all been sorted out.
And what about my union?
I've had a word with your union full-time officer, Mr. Boyce, and he's given his approval.
And the other ward orderlies?
The other ward orderlies will be told. Don't worry about it. Now get on with your work.
Yes, sister.
And clean these floors. Mrs. Howard, I'm surprised at you.
What are you doing? You think say God going to come down and save you when you drop dead from the high blood pressure you have?
You don't know what about my God, Colin, so stop it.
Phyllis, this is the real world, you know. You think that sister give a damn about you? She just using you.
Sister's a good woman. I know her since she was still crawling, so know what you're saying, why?
And in all that time, has she ever treated you like an equal?
Equal does not come into it, Colin. Our color makes no difference. We're good friends.
And you think it was fair she never sent anybody to relieve you?
There's her reasons. She has a job to do like the rest of us. This hospital has to run on rules and regulation.
Phyllis, Phyllis, the rules are just there to keep you in one place. She may have rules for she, but it's all to keep you in one place. Look, she is a boss and you is a slave. And the rule is you must behave.
I haven't got time to stand around and listen to this nonsense all day. I have my duties to attend to.
My doctor was treating me and stopped me from going back to work because my blood pressure was very ill. When I returned back, I received a letter to attend this disciplinary hearing by the administrator to say I was failed to carry out my duty. Then that letter was going, I was going to face the sack. And I think if it wasn't we, the patient would be suffered, which they are suffering, by management, because management don't realize when they've been harassing us, they're harassing the patient. And sometimes the patient wouldn't eat to seeing us in tears, crying. They're asking us, without you people, I don't know what we would do. Haven't you got a union? Couldn't your union do something about you? Because we need you.
Oh, I'm fine, Mrs. Howard. Though I'm quite busy at the moment. You see, I've just come back from my holidays in Barbados. I'm doing this course on industrial relations. It's quite interesting.
I didn't know you came from Barbados.
Oh, yes. But I came here when I was 10. You know, I found going back a very strange experience. See, they're so backward out there, no sense of time, no culture. I suppose being here all this time with my education has made me forget a lot of Barbados. I think it's better like that. We had a union meeting yesterday. Didn't you hear about it? There was a notice up in the staff office.
I didn't even go into the staff office yesterday or today. I was very busy. Sister said my work shift has been changed. She said she sorted it out with you, so I suppose it's okay.
It's not okay. She's not sorted anything like this out with me.
She might have forgotten. She have a lot of work to do, you know.
Now, she did not forget anything. She knows the union would never allow it.
I'm not complaining, but she said it's only for a week until the strike finishes.
What does she think she is? She can't just ignore me. The management know they're supposed to consult me on matters like this. This is a blatant breach of contract. They signed an agreement with us and now they're going against it.
Mr. Boyce, forget about it. What's done is done.
Why didn't you come to tell me about this earlier?
Because I can't go against her authority. If management has made a decision, well, there's nothing you and I can do.
Mrs. Howard, I think you underestimate my position in this hospital. I am here to represent your rights, something you cannot do for yourself. What do you think a union's for? Now, please, let me handle things the way I know best. That's what you pay your union subscription for now, isn't it?
Yes.
That's better. Now, I'd like you to come with me to see the management about this issue.
You don't understand, Mr. Boyce. I can't leave my work.
Well, in that case, when your sister returns, I'd like you to tell her that your union full-time officer has told you to cease carrying out the extra duties on this ward.
Do you think I'm mad? I don't want to get a summons or disciplinary hearing like some of the other ward orderlies. Mr. Boyce, the management make rules, and that's their business. I'm only here to carry them out. That's what I get paid for.
How long are you going to wait until it is your business? Do you think your old-fashioned values are going to save you in this country? I saw them. When I went home to Barbados, my mother, she lives for those values.
And you think this country is any different?
You have got to look after yourself because nobody else is. And I've got a career to lead. I'm not going to sit around waiting for you to start taking an interest in yourself.
I hear everybody talking about career. You ever hear about career prospect as a ward orderly, as a domestic, as a cleaner? You don't give a damn about us. All you're interested in is your own flipping career. I came from the Caribbean. And what you're talking about is what preserved me in this country. What you don't seem to understand is that your mother probably had to sweat blood to see you get something. And because it's suited for your career, you come to tell me to stop work. Well, get out of this one, let me get on with some work. The whole I want to get on my nerves.
Well, don't come running to me, Mrs. Howard.
You know where the door is, Mr. Boyce.
They are very scared because some of the full-time officer has been making a deal with management that we should keep on management proposal, and we refuse it. And I decided the union should not hide anything concerning with the members of the staff, which were facing a hard task by management, harassment, and to see that our rights been hiding underneath the carpet by the full-time officers. We decided we have to fight to get the full-time officer out, to fight for our right, because we got a right. We got a right. We have suffered to keep up the standard of this hospital, and we couldn't see ourselves kicked out.
I'm gonna whip them now. Whip them now. All right, I'm gonna whip them now. That's 5 pounds and 10 pence. The whip! Give us your bag, I'll put on the floor. The whip!
My unit's having a meeting outside, Phyllis. All the staff are going to occupy this ward so we can stop the management from closing it. We occupied the management office last night. Are you going outside, Phyllis?
You don't know what you're saying. How can you occupy a ward? They'll get the police.
But as I told you before, Phyllis,
you don't seem to understand that I'm not doing this dirty work because I like it. It's because I have to accept it if I intend to get a wage packet at the end of the week to feed my family and myself.
why don't you want to join the occupation, Phyllis? You've experienced hardships. You've been here longer than most.
I didn't say I didn't want to join the occupation.
So what are you saying then?
It's just your attitude, Janet. You sound just like Mr. Boyce and the union people in your meeting. You should do this, you should do that.
But Phyllis, they've got the experience. They know how to organize.
When you do all the experiencing and organizing, where are we? Maybe a few more pounds in our pocket, but we're still in the same pit, having to take the same abuse and doing the same slavery.
But that is why we've got to let the public know, Phyllis.
The ordinary person in the street don't care about us black people. They don't care about our suffering. All they care about is which hospital going to close next, when the fares are going up, and if they have money to buy bread. And when them care, it's only about how much we get a week.
We all want changes, Phyllis. Rome wasn't built in a day.
They had longer than a day, Janet, longer than a day.
Listen, you know that black women's group that I belong to? Well, why don't you come along and speak to some of the women?
I wonder when you come around to that,
Just
Janet.
say how you feel. Your experience would be invaluable.
It was hard for a black woman in the 60s. It isn't any different now. What is talking about my experience is going to change.
Yes. Maybe I understand why I don't seem to get through to you. But Phyllis, you're the person that I really need the support from.
What about your nursing, Janet?
Sister gave one of her lectures this morning about duty. About your duty is to your job and your patients. It's like we have to sing God Save Our Patients every morning with a bedpan in one hand and a cloth in the other to wipe their bum. And then we are supposed to stand up solemn and humble while we wipe their shit.
Janet, your mother had to wipe your behind. Didn't she teach you anything? All women are nurses. That's why when I go home, I have to do the same things I do here. Wash the family, feed them, clothe them, and if I don't wipe their shit, I have to wipe the toilet.
Phyllis, can't you see what is happening around us? What is happening in this hospital? What is left in nursing if we have to take this kind of harassment just to look after sick people?
So what are you fighting for then? There's people, there's black people working day and night to keep this place going and need your support. Why don't you come on the ward and ask us what we want instead of telling us what we need?
Phyllis!
I told you, Janet, there's no buts. Now allow me to do it my way. Now let me be.
Management has issued a letter to every one of the staff. They started from since the couple weeks. And they issue a letter to say that we have to come in and sign the new contract for the privatization. And from then, we have no union to represent us. We all are waiting on our full-time officer to represent us, and we do not know which direction he's gone to. You have to think of your bills. You have to think of the rent, the money that you must gather to pay the heavy bills, the food. Sometimes it's hard to make ends meet because what you've been getting from the job is nothing to keep up the standard of your living.
Mrs. Howard, so you've decided to ignore my orders? I thought I told you before I went on break to get these floors cleaned.
I'm not cleaning these floors anymore. It's not in my job description.
I told you for the last time, get these floors cleaned.
No. I've been sweating my guts out to get a small wage packet. And anytime I ask you for some help, you come to tell me about responsibility and sacrifice. Look at these calluses and blisters from cleaning toilets, washing tiles, pushing trolley, dustbins, dirty dishes, and now you want me to clean floors with them, eh?
I am not interested in your bloody hands. You're making things very difficult for yourself.
No, you're the one who are making things difficult for me. And I'm not taking any more.
You could get yourself into serious trouble. Do you want a disciplinary summons like some of the other women?
Don't threaten me. You're making a bad mistake. You think you can run this ward if I refuse from doing forced slaves work? And this hospital would shut tomorrow if us workers walk out.
I don't think some of the other women would behave as stupidly as you are if their jobs were on the line.
Because they are too frightened to say or do anything. But they all feel the same way as I do for a long time now. A long time. But they'll open their mouths one day. Or my name isn't Phyllis Howard.
Yes, well, I'm going to fetch the administrator.
Yes, bring the whole of the management. Who cares? But you would be the fool if you can't handle a simple little problem like me.
You're not going to make a fool out of me. I'll have you dismissed if it's the last thing I do. I've got the whole of the management of the Area Health Authority behind me. Who do you think you are? You're just another ward orderly, a number on a payslip. That's what you are, and I'm sick and tired of people like you. You don't realise that what we built our lives on is dying.
Well, it's too bad. I didn't cause this National Health Service to die. And what is it doing to my life? I'm dying from this job and no one cares about my suffering. And who are you? You think that when they close this place, they'll still have you on the payroll? You are going to be left out in the cold just like us. And you call yourself a sister. Tell me what nursing you have done. Just pure harassment.
Listen, I've given my life to this place. I've been a nurse for 16 years. And this is as far as I've got. Well, I've given them what they want. More than they've asked for. Yet all I get is a thank you from the senior administrator. Keep up the good work, Sister Parks. We must have efficiency. While they sit around like stuffed parrots writing reports on how to close wards. Now they're going to close this ward. This hospital is my life and they're killing it.
Well, I've been sick for the past 2 days, but you don't give a damn. I've been walking Elizabeth Regina's land since 1962, leaving my husband laying still in bed to come to work in those dark winter mornings till night. I've seen my children all day, not knowing how they got on at school, going home to find one of them in the police station, getting the same harassment like myself. And after so many years in this country, I can't even afford to go home to see my mother's grave. But you don't care.
Why are you telling me this? This country gave you everything, even our jobs. But still you want more. Special treatment, special money. What do I get? Nothing. Well, I haven't got time for your problems. I've got some of my own, and no one has time to listen to them either.
You people always cry about your own blood, sweat, and tears. You come to my country, and you litter the beaches. And when you get to my son, you get cancer. And when we come here, we have to work in snow, rain, and coldness. And then we have to put up with your prejudice because we are different color.
Why don't you go back to your own country then? I don't know why you came here. I didn't invite you.
Talking to you people is like talking to a brick wall. But I hear you. This is my country and my children's country. I've been here for the past 20 years, and you still calling me an immigrant, as if you don't know the meaning of the word. We built this country, we built the National Health Service, and now we want the wages for it.
Well, don't look at me. I haven't got it.
You have our lives, and anytime you harass me, you take part of it away.
You call it what you like. I call it refusing to carry out orders. You deserve what you get. There's no wonder you can't get anywhere in this country. You're just as lazy as your children. As lazy as that one there. I bet he goes walking the streets, causing trouble like the rest of them when he's out of here, and then they start crying about rights.
What do you know about looking after sick people? When you have to show prejudice towards them. And who are you? You come from the bowels of this hospital to harass me, bully me, frighten me. I was a hard worker before, but now I'm lazy because I'm fighting for my rights. I don't have the chip on my shoulder, you do.
What's that around your neck? You're not supposed to wear that. Give it to me.
That's why you harass me. I put a curse on you. Uno push kuno and the devil rab uno.
Don't you threaten me, you filthy black bitch.
Yes, I'm black, but with a capital B. Now get your hands off me. You devil, don't hold me.
How dare you?
What's the matter? You didn't think you get what you give? Well, there's only one person I let hit me, and that's my mother, and she taught me how to fight back.
Excuse me, sister. I'd like a word with you, please.
And I'd like a word with you, Mr. Boyce. Did you tell this woman that she could refuse to carry out the management's orders?
I told you to refuse to do the work, not to start a fight over it. Do you think you can just take the law into your own hands?
You seem to think, say, that representing us is for contract with the management. And that's all you talk about in those bloody meetings. You never bother to talk how hard we work, how these people just keep us in slavery. Well, may we fight them.
Well, don't expect me to help you if you think you're above the law.
You're the one who tell me if you stop work. Or talk to me about no law they never make for me.
I want you to get on with your work and forget about this incident. I don't want any more trouble from you. I am not going to lose my job over you.
You're a disgrace to your job. And now you listen, Mr. Boyce. You take 52 pence union subscription from our wages every week. Call it 10 shillings and 6 pence. And go on holiday to the sun. Then you come back to tell me about your fascinating courses, about your industrial relations. Well, me don't know what they have to do with me. So please explain, or get your fat ass in front of that woman and give me the support I pay your white union for.
Now, please, don't threaten me.
Don't sweet-talk me, you Uncle Tom. Your color is only skin deep, you full of shit.
Now, please, sit down.
No, me want to turn up so that everybody can hear me want to say.
I don't have to take this from you, Mrs. Howard. Now, the other women, they don't behave like this.
The other woman them wouldn't piss on you if you catch fire. And you listen, Mr. Boyce. Me go tell every black woman in this hospital how you take with money and go on holiday to Barbados. How you go on courses when I mean nothing. How you take inside with the management them to harass us. And I'm going to tell them all, if you don't make a report or do something to support me, and you know I will, Mr. Boyce, because you need our support in this hospital if you want to keep your well-paid job.
I'll represent you if there's a disciplinary hearing. But I don't want any sly remarks, any answering back, any speeches or any sermons.
Don't worry. I wouldn't stain your wonderful career. But me want a report make so that everybody know about this harassment and victimization.
Oh, well, something can be worked out with the management on those issues.
Me want a report make so that everybody know what is going on in this hospital or else.
Okay, if that's what you want.
Well, come on then. He's with me. He's always with me. When I ask you for some help, you give me no help.
Mrs. Howard, I
no
told
help
you to
at all.
refuse to do the work.
No
I didn't
help.
tell you to get involved.
Well, I didn't tell this woman to hit me, and I'm not taking anymore.
Excuse me, sister. I'm afraid I'm going to have to make a report to the management about this incident.
Well, you realise the management aren't going to take very kindly to this.
Well, I don't care what the management thinks.
What's a report, anyway? It's only a piece of paper.
You people always say that this country is fair. Well, I'm not surprised that these young people giving you hell, because it's all lies, pure lies.
This is a hospital, not Speaker's Corner.
Did they ask the public their opinion when they want to close this hospital?
You'll have to take that up with the Area Health Authority.
Excuse me, sister. I have someone here from the outpatients department.
Thank you, nurse.
I do hope you know what you're doing, Mrs. Howard.
And you stop calling me Mrs. Howard all the time. My name Phyllis. What's your name?
Hubert.
It's a nice name. Oh, Faith, son. Oh, God, what a day.
I didn't know you had it in you, you know.
Of course she did. She only needed you and me to show her how to do it.
Put it there.
All right, Phyllis.
What's wrong with your hand?
May I have a word with you, please, Phyllis?
What do you want to say to me?
The management are coming to close this ward today, and when they come, I'll be the only one there. I wondered if you would stay on to help me, please.
Sister, it's too late to start calling me Phyllis. And please do this and please do that. I have something more worthwhile for me to do, because I'm not helping them to close this ward. Where's the meeting, Janet?
Here. Oh, later, Phyllis.
Right, see you.
Look, you do it like this. Give me a hand. Like so, like so.
It should be made clear that black people in particular should support black workers such as Rita that are right down the bottom where, I mean, most West Indians that came here in the early 60s and so on, these are the only jobs they ever had. And most black people are afraid of being militant. They don't want to get on the wrong side of anybody, so they shy away from it, especially older ones.
You know something? You know, I wish my mother and father was like you. Them just work day and night, 6 days a week. Sunday, them praise God for giving them the rest. Come Monday, them start all over again. But them won't change it. Them don't want to.
They don't know how to change it. I didn't. People only change when I'm forced to. Well, I tell you something. When my son got arrested by the police, I was so mad and beaten up by those bastards. I couldn't bear to see him suffer. I have to support him.
You know, when I first met you, I didn't think you was aware of what was going on. But you're all right enough, Phyllis. You're cool.
Cool? Cool what? I still believe in some of those old-fashioned values. But I say to myself, how do they help me to survive in this country? How do they help me to understand what is happening in my life, in my children's, and in my children's life?
Take it back. So what are you going to do, Phyllis?
I will fight them if they harass me anymore. I can only take so much. You might not believe in this, but you think my God would have brought me all this way to leave me now? You want a fruit?
Is you have to organize and fight in a Phyllis?
I have to start with what I know. You start with what you know. Little ideas, little beginning. Of course, I have to fight for my rights. I have to go home first. The meeting starts at 8 o'clock. See you, Colin.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry.
Because I'm a ward orderly.
But I'm just asking.
Yeah, no.
Look, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the premises. You're no longer employed by us.
Yeah,
You
what
are
for?
actually-
Why?
Because you're causing disturbance to the run of the ward. You're not employed by us. We can't take any legal responsibility for what you're
Oh,
doing.
I'm not employed. How long?
You were dismissed yesterday.
Yesterday, how long since I've been working here?
I don't know, 20 odd years, 22 years.
Is it?
Yes.
Really? Ah.
But
And then,
I know you've been here long, but I would like you to leave the ward. Where is your coat? Is it nearby? You have your coat here.
I'm not leaving without you get my full-time officer.
Well, I'm not prepared to agree to that because you're not employed by us anymore.
Is it?
Yes, that's right. I'm formally asking you to leave. Can you leave, please? You've been asked to leave.
So what happened on Thursday? Did you really believe that you could see so many policemen coming in?
Well, to tell you the truth, I couldn't, when I see it, if I didn't see it for myself, I wouldn't believe it. Because no way enough, I would never think, after a person working in a place for so long, give their labors for so long, to deal with sick people and work with such, I mean, the mess, what we have to put with. I can never think that I would live to see policemen, about how many of them running in the hospital like mad for one person who had given their labor for so many years for the government. It is a surprise and it is a shock. I never thought I would live to see that.
And as you said, what you noticed happened to Maxim on Sunday.
I don't believe what they did with Mrs. Maxim on Thursday. If every one of us, say 35 of us, grade 2, did not sign the privatization contract which was pushed on us, I doubt very much that they would enforce that much police inside the hospital. Of course, there would be a police, because there always a police is there to keep law and order. Yes, but I doubt very much if there would be that much police. Because, say for instance, if 35 of us did not sign that contract, Rita, we would not have to return to work the Thursday. Rita was protesting because she could not satisfy that she was sacked by one woman. She wanted to hear that she was sacked by the higher authority. The people that remained at the back are not from Mrs. Slaven. So that is the reason why I think this, the whole of the police force was brought in on Thursday to evict her from a job that she's been doing for 20 years and 7 months.
We had something like this before, that we picket the hospital, because when Mrs. Samaru was sacked, a few of us supported her, you know, until the day when they told us, well, management, they are getting somewhere with the management, and she will be reinstated. And then we stop it, you know, but anything like this, you know, we always, a few of us do fight, you know, but not everybody. And then we heard about Mrs. Maxine and what's, you know, that's happening in the hospital. And so some of us decided to come and support what's going on there.
So what really happened, management knew fully well that there is no cooperation amongst we. So they decided then, if they've been reinstated, they're going to do it professionally by going to court and issue, which I call the new contract, and then they're going to see that by all means it is an ultimatum. You sign it, you remain in your job. You don't sign it, you go out. And that is what they knew fully well, that we would be out because of non-cooperation amongst us, the staff, the grade 2 in the hospital.
Girls in there, they are scared to come out to say what is getting on in there. The pressure we are getting, they are just scared to come out to say.
Rita usual to fight for us a lot, and that's why they did want to get her out before we, you see? Why she fight and she give us our rights all the while. And they get a...
Area Health Authority says is no woman should be using this machine, which it is too heavy. They should form a male team cleaner in Harrow Road and to use this heavy machine. And this is why there is a male team cleaner, but for so much to be doing the floor, but so much harassment they've been giving them, is only 3 men left to clean the floor. And I don't see why these women has to be taken up to sign this new term and contract to agree to take up this duty and to carry on this job after the Area Health Authority said the machine is too heavy, and many of the ward grade 1 been suffering.
They claim Rita was talking a lot. Rita, you see, one said they did not know what to do. The other claimed she was talking a lot. She was talking a lot to educate those who is less fortunate than her to know what is going on. Although she would advise them, and many times, more often than not, she would advise them, if you people don't believe me, why don't you go and seek advice? There's a lot of places that they give free advice. But no one would listen. They still claim she's talking a lot. They used to form little groups, little corners, and call her troublemaker. I as well am a branded troublemaker. That's my name. Because I'm a strong believer in principle. I believe strongly in principle.
Because you're outspoken?
Yes, because I'm outspoken. I don't believe in keep on bursting inside and then I'm still dissatisfied. I believe in coming out with it.
Right,
so I think the backbone of the whole thing, it was the non-unity we had in Harrow Road Hospital. Management is to be blamed. But again, if we had a strong force, management would not be able to penetrate it the way that they penetrated it.
This is why I was a doctor's letter.
Do not sign
With a
who
doctor's
sign
letter.
and who don't sign. Because when those papers, when those this work restriction was issued, everybody seems to be pulled away south and west and east. You never know. Nobody joined together to say who you don't think that signed it, already signed it. Therefore, you left with no choice because you think everybody already signed. So what you have to do is to sign.
So, well, I don't.
Well, I stand firm because from the time I hear about that,
as
as long as Rita is decided that she's not going to sign the form, I think that she is the shop steward and she sings and she sings over and over in our head. And I decide that I am not whatever, I'm not going to take no one advice. I'll think what is best for her and for myself and for the others. And if I is the first one that get the sack, and I still stand firm because I feel, I know that I'm going to get the sack, but I still decide that I'm going to stand with Rita because everyone is against her. She talks a little bit too much, which all of us know that she talks a little bit too much, but she talks for her rights.
She was only trying to educate
I admire her in the way that she's getting on. She fights to keep the hospital open for us. If it wasn't for that girl, Mrs. Maxim, today, none of us wouldn't be in the hospital.
That's fine.
They would close the hospital long time. She really fight hard. And I have to say that she fight and she fight and she fight. And if it's only I alone, and I know I am not her best friend in that hospital, and I wouldn't disappoint her as one of my workmates. And any one of my workmates, I decide that I will fight with her.
This is why I was keep on saying, do not sign the paper. Do not sign the paper, because this management, a new management, they has no what you call experience to look after the sick people. They do not care about the sick people. They do not care about the cleanliness of the sick, to clean the place of the sick people. All they had they were thinking about is only to give us harassment.
What are you going to do now, Mrs. Now that you've been sacked? Have you got a job?
I'll still fighting for my job once they get out this management, because they are not there to manage, to look after the interests of the sick people. They're only there to close the hospital, to privatize the hospital, which the poor people need this hospital. So
Would you like to go back to that hospital?
yes, I would like to go back once they do away with this management that is in Harrow without no education and press it as well.
On what condition would you like to come back if
it is my job? I have given my service. The condition is for them to get rid of this management, a new management, and they only need to privatize the hospital and stop us from staying to get our pension, which we have given service there.
I'm on duty.
I'm at work. I had no paper that...
Yes, but Rita, you're no longer employed here, and I'm afraid I'd have to ask this gentleman to escort you off the premise.
So what you all saying?
Rita, can I also tell you that,
Yeah.
if you come back...
So you agree? So you...
I don't agree with anybody. He's saying you're trespassing,
Yes,
and
I'm
asked you to leave.
I'm not trespassing.
Well, he says you are.
Yes, you're no longer employed by the staff of the hospital, therefore you are trespassing. And Rita, if you come back again, we will have to get an injunction to stop you.
Injunction from the court.
No, well, not necessarily. You don't know the law.
I am the lady. I've been working here for the past...